Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Libra Lounge. Today's show is brought to you by the City of Baytown and Councilman Charles Johnson. They would like to invite you out to the HSA Invitational Basketball Tournament taking place July 13th through the 15th. It's for grades 5th through high school. For information about joining, you can contact Charles Johnson at 832-721-0759, or you can email him at cj4district3@gmail.com. They've got some really cool sponsors like Houston Methodist, Dickey's Barbecue, and UPS. Like I said before, for additional information, you can look up Charles Johnson on Facebook or send him an email. Alrighty, if you are a friend of the Libra Lounge, it is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The Gab with Keisha.
So, in the news this week, we have C. Breezy, who has once again gotten arrested. Did y'all hear about that?
I didn't.
Here's my thing. If I ever become rich and famous, I'm probably just going to sit my ass down somewhere, collect my checks, look cute, post on the Instagram, me cruising all over the world. But Chris Brown got arrested again, and he got arrested right after his concert. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think the laws was wrong for getting him as soon as he got off the stage?
No, that's probably the only time that they actually have access to him, unfortunately. Looks bad, but that's when they can get him.
I mean, it looks bad, but then again, it's Chris Brown. It's just like, well, just another day in the neighborhood with Chris Brown. But here's my thing. Like, that charge was from something back in 2017. I'm like, don't you have a legal team who should be taking care of stuff like that? I'm like, all y'all asses are fired immediately. There has been no word yet if he's bailed out of jail or what the bond is going to be. He can afford it, but Chris, just go take a seat somewhere and just chillax for a little bit and enjoy being a father and all that good stuff. I'm sure his mama is pissed off at him. Like, how you get arrested on your job? I mean, really? Okay, so do you guys watch Grey's Anatomy?
I haven't for years.
I haven't for years either. I know, right? But it's like, I haven't watched it in about 5 years because Grey's Anatomy's been on for about 35 years. I think this show is going to go on and on and on. I think Meredith and the black chick are like the only ones who are from the original cast. I'm like, okay. But anyway, everyone knows who Jesse Williams is. Nice looking mulatto boy, green eyes, but he still loves black women. So anyway, he and his wife got a divorce, and the judge ordered him to pay $50,000 a month for child support and $50,000 for spousal support. So that's been about a month ago, but Jesse's like, hold up, wait a minute. That's a little bit too much for me to be paying for spousal support and child support. So he's planning on going back to court to get the $50,000 in child support lowered. So that would mean, since he's got 2 kids, each one of them are getting $25,000 a month. Do you think that's a lot? I want to hear a man's perspective.
Yeah, that's a lot.
No, I mean, even for me, I'm like, I have 1 kid. I'm like, what could I do with $25,000? Not spend it on her, but $25,000 per kid a month on top of the spousal support. I mean, do you think he's wrong since the judge already ruled that that's how much he has to pay? Do you think it's wrong for him to go back and say, look, it needs to be lowered?
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's all I got to say about that.
Well, Jesse primarily, I mean, he's been in a few films here and there, but he primarily works just on Grey's Anatomy. But I'm like, God, how much is Shonda Rhimes and ABC paying their actors for him to be able to afford that every month? He's got to be making a lot of money over there. James, call Shonda Rhimes because I need to get on one of her shows. Okay? But I'm not going to pay you spousal support if we get a divorce. You on your own. Sorry. So Jesse was just like, no. But, a couple of months ago, I reported that Britney Spears was taking her, well, actually, her ex-husband was trying to take her back to court, saying that he needed more money. Now, I think she's paying somewhere around what Jesse's paying for their 2 boys. And she was just like, you know what? It's not my job to have to support you and all your other kids. No, I don't think I need to pay anymore. I don't know. I get like $300 a month. So, in child support. So this right here is just like, I would be completely rich. I mean, you don't even have to work. I mean, that's a month, not a year.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, so he's giving his ex-wife $100,000 a month. I think that's where the term "it's cheaper to keep her" came from, because that's a lot of money. I'm like, you know what? I think we can work things out. I thought about it. You've done your thing. I've done my thing. Let's just go ahead and get back together. Let's do it for the kids. So, were you guys fans of the Spice Girls when they were hot? I was.
I'm not 30 yet.
You see those stairs right there? Go ahead and go down the stairs. It's going to be some other stairs going up there with the kids. Did you just say, I'm not 30 yet?
No, I'm not. So I remember them vaguely.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Okay, I'm going to talk to you in this grown folks conversation.
Grown folks
Turn around
conversation.
over here talking about I ain't 30. Golly. Anyway, so Victoria Beckham, who is married to the absolutely gorgeous David Beckham, there's been rumors swirling the last couple of weeks that they're getting a divorce. So they really been like taking all these extra pictures and stuff like that and posting them and say, no, we are together, we are strong. But they just celebrated 19 years of marriage this week. In Hollywood, that's like 1,000 years of togetherness, right?
Yeah, that's big time.
Especially when you've got David Beckham, who, was one of the greatest soccer players of all time. So, and not to mention, he's just fine. Did y'all see him when he was at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding? How you go to somebody else's wedding looking better than the groom did? He did. I mean, he was looking like a whole snack. I was like, oh, I was like, Harry who? Because Beckham, he was like, and he knew he looked good that day. I
He's
hope
big
for their
time.
sake. You what?
No, David Beckham's big time.
He is big time. They're super rich. Victoria, I mean, there's always someone saying the Spice Girls are getting back together. I don't know. I think she just lives well, takes care of her kids, and just enjoys being rich. That's what I would do.
Yeah, he's the first male to ever have his legs insured.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, $50 million insurance policy on his legs.
Can you imagine that?
I can't.
I
That's
wonder if I
crazy.
can get my titties insured. $10 per month. That's the premium. I'm just saying. I think they're valuable. So why not get them insured? I'm just saying. But dang, you said 50 million?
Yeah.
I want to be one of David Beckham's legs then, because
It's in the Guinness Book of World Records, and he's in Ripley's Believe It or Not.
that is insane. You know,
His legs are at the museum.
I wouldn't mind seeing his legs. I mean, I don't want to see the ones at the museum. I want to see the real ones up close. See, let me count the hairs on your legs, David. Anyway, when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to my guests and some wonderful things that they are doing for our community. Stick with the Libra Lounge. Femme Fatale is the fully equipped boutique-style gym and fitness club that is taking a new and innovative approach to women's health and fitness. Our main goal is to provide a comfortable and completely judgment-free venue for women of all ages and fitness levels to come exercise and feel like a positive, fit family. We understand the busy lifestyle of today's women, so we also provide 30 minutes to 1 hour fitness classes, including the newest trends like boot camps, yoga, and body bar. We also offer a break room for school-aged children to hang out, as well as a tanning bed and sauna. We are located at 689 FM 517 West in Dickinson, Texas, and our phone number is 281-678-8037. Mention the Libra Lounge and get $10 off your initiation fee. We look forward to growing our fit family with you. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge, everyone. I've got some special guests in the studio with me today. I'm going to let each one of you introduce yourselves. Go ahead. Did you really buck your ass?
I did.
You are doing an interview. You're going to have to introduce yourself. You're doing some great things in our community right now. Go ahead, get on up on that mic.
Hello, guys. I am Shatana Nelson. better known in the community as Coach T.
Okay.
If there's a cheerleader for most organizations, I work with them, colleges. If there's an event going on, I'm probably the person behind it, putting it together.
Okay.
And also, I work with a couple of organizations, Bennett Foundation, and of course, mine, Angels Don't Have Wings, for little girls who have been sexually assaulted and sexually abused.
Okay.
Work with Tell Somebody to kind of really push that. And any of my friends who are just doing anything in the community. Of course, self-proclaimed humanitarian is the biggest thing.
Awesome. So you're kind of like a go-to girl
I guess so.
who cheers.
Who cheers, who whips people into shape. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, who else do we have in the studio with us?
Mythiker.
And what
Mythiker
organization are you with?
Yeah, so I'm Mythiker Pickett. I'm the founder. Mythiker.
Mythiker.
Yeah,
Is that your
Mythiker
government
Pickett.
name?
That is the government name.
Mythiker.
Mythiker, yep.
What is
myth
that?
Occurred.
The myth occurred.
It just happened. You just got it.
How did you get that name? There has to be a story
Yeah.
behind that
No,
name.
My mom made it up. It's French and Latin.
Are y'all French and Latin?
No, she is.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Mythiker Laise.
Mythiker. Say it, what?
Mythiker
Uh-huh.
Laise.
And I thought I had a damn name on me. Do you have a nickname?
Pooh.
I knew he was just going to say myth.
Nah. P-O-H.
So I'm going to call you Pooh the whole time you're here.
Oh, man.
You shouldn't have told me.
Yeah, it's out there now.
Okay,
It's
Pooh.
family.
Pooh.
What's up?
Tell us what you do.
All right, so I started a foundation called We See Abilities.
Mm-hmm.
We give the special needs population a better quality of life through sports and community activities.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my purpose in life. That's my calling. My job is to be the hands and feet of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And so we travel around the world in the United States to provide low to moderate income communities with new shoes.
Okay.
And so I've been doing that over a year now with Samaritan's Feet.
Okay.
And so that's the upcoming event that we'll be talking about later.
So tell us a little bit more about Samaritan's Feet.
Yeah, so Samaritan's Feet, it's been around for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last 15 years, we've given away 7 million brand new pair of shoes around the world. We're in 93 countries and 380 cities in the U.S.
And so I know on the event that's going to take place July 10th in Houston, you guys are giving away 750 pairs of shoes.
Correct.
How do y'all get the shoes?
Yeah, so they come from various partners.
Okay.
So like Coca-Cola,
Mm-hmm.
we have Shaq,
Mm-hmm.
Adidas, Nike, just different Reebok, different partners. In this instance, we're working with BB&T,
Okay.
which is the bank sponsor, which is the actual sponsor for 9 distributions.
Okay.
So they're doing 9 distributions in the United States for back to school.
Okay.
And so this is our first one. And so when I got the call that we got approved for 750 pair of shoes for Houston,
Mm-hmm.
the first person I could think of was Miss Johnson
Mhm.
because of what she did last year with the back to school event she hosts. And they've been doing it. So I was like, well, she has history doing back to school events.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great to partner with someone that has that history.
And who is Miss Johnson?
Miss Karen Johnson.
Miss Karen Johnson. And how would we know her?
She's Andre's mother, Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson. Okay.
Yes. From
Gotcha.
the
Gotcha.
Houston, Texas, yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag 80.
Got you. Okay. So Shatana, how did you get involved in this organization?
Mythiker called me and he was like,
You mean Pooh?
yeah,
Yeah,
Pooh
that
called
guy.
you?
Pooh called me.
So when he calls you on your phone, when his number pops up, does it say Pooh?
It says Mythiker.
Mythiker.
I like saying that. I like that name.
I
Thank
like
you.
saying Pooh.
That's my Alabama name.
It sound about Bama. It
is
really
Bama.
does.
It
Pooh.
is Bama. Straight
Okay.
Bama.
So Shatana, how did you get involved with this organization? Now, Pooh called you.
So, okay, let me see the best way to sum this up. Favorite quote. There's a lot of good people in the world. If you
Mhm.
can't find one, be one.
Be one.
Mythiker is that person that describes in whole parts. Not many people can just call me and say, let's do something on this level without me just trusting it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work with anyone.
Mhm.
I probably have my hands in things, but for me to be like, okay, let's do it.
To attach your name onto
That's
it.
right.
And,
That's,
yeah.
That doesn't happen much because
Mhm.
who I coach for.
Right. Who do you
Um,
coach for?
The Bennett Foundation, Michael Bennett's foundation is one of my
Okay.
main teams, and I'm
Go
associated
Philly.
with all.
Go Philly, man. Philly Eagles.
I'm
They
associated
get all my
with,
boys.
a
They got
few
Vic.
different high-profile people in Houston. I
Okay.
coach their daughters.
Got you.
So when he called, he was like, "I have a bunch of events going on."
Mm-hmm.
He just got the naming them off where he just changing the world. Mr. Wonderful, he just did that.
Yeah, huge.
Just different things that he had going on, and then he got to this one, and he was like, "Would you like to help?" I'm like, "Yeah." So
Yeah.
like, I'm putting the phone on mute. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm like, "Yeah." So I go back and I'm like, "What do you need?" He was like, "Hey, let's do it."
Right. So how long does it take you guys to organize an event like the one that you're going to be having?
Oh wow. Oh.
Don't look at her. She say she ain't want to be on camera because there's
Wow.
another
Yeah.
person in the studio. She came in the studio. She came looking real cute,
She is.
Wow.
but she
Yeah,
does
think
not
so.
want to be. But she over there.
That's
Shake-
mama.
Yeah,
She making
that's
sure y'all say the
mama.
things
Mama
right.
here. Mama
Mama's
here.
So
in
far,
the
she's been
building.
nodding.
Mama
Yes, I
here.
can see her, from the corner of my eye. So y'all are doing real, real good.
Yeah.
Will she hit y'all if y'all say something wrong?
You
Tell
know,
the truth, she won't.
black
Because I
mamas
see her
just look at
arms
you.
over
We
there, and her
we
arms kind of,
spiritual. We
yeah.
spiritual.
Mama, I'm trying to get there.
I
Mama
know,
is
because I
shady.
seen her arms. I'm like,
She
let
is
me
shady,
not.
I know.
Let me be quiet and not piss her off at all. Because she gonna be like, I'm gonna slap your little ass. You gonna learn today. I'm just playing with you. I told you should have just got on camera. I'm just saying. Now her phone going off. Tell them you are at the Libra Lounge today. You will be with them shortly. We are doing an interview. I'm just playing. My parents always call when I'm on. As soon as I get in front of the mic, one of them calls me.
Oh wow.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
no.
how
long?
what, a year?
Right. Well, no.
Longer?
No.
Really?
I've-
Y'all had shorter amount of time than
yeah,
that?
I
That's why Pooh called you.
Right. So what happened was, just to the story real quick. May 2nd, I was visiting a church in Fort Bend called the Impact Church, and he does a lot of food with the Houston Food Bank. They pass out a lot of food, so he's fed about 6,000 families since Harvey, and he's still feeding families today. And so I went to visit his church about a STEM project I'm working on with the Houston Rockets, and I was like, man, I would
You
love
know the
to.
Rockets?
Yeah.
Any of them single?
I
want one of the really rich. I'm not trying to get a divorce. I just want a sugar daddy.
Oh my gosh.
That could work for both of us.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know.
So,
I'm just playing.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, we was talking about some STEM education, and I was asking him about schools in the Fort Bend community, and he was like, "Oh yeah, there's schools out here that could really use a science adventure, STEM education through experiences." And the school that I found was not one of the schools we talked about at all. I got lost.
Trying to find the school?
No, I got lost trying to get out of Fort Bend area, out of Ridgemont area. And I turned down a street, and the street I turned down still had trash. And they were still collecting trash from Harvey May 2nd.
I can't even imagine.
And it broke my heart. And I was like, man, this is a really tough area. They still recovering, from Harvey still. And I asked one of the ladies, I said, is this still from Harvey? And the lady was like, yeah, this is from Harvey. I said, are there any schools around here? And she was like, across the street. Literally behind the houses was a school, Ridgemont Elementary and Ridgemont Preschool. And so I went around the block, just on the backside of the house, and there's a school right there with trash out in front of there. So I'm like, they still have. So I knocked on the, and it's May 2nd, so they're getting ready out. And so I knocked on the door, and they let me in. And the lady was like, she's like, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true for our school. You got to meet our principal. And so I went over to the actual elementary school, which is next door, because they're side by side each other. One is a preschool that has 140 students, and then the actual elementary school, K through 5, has 560.
Okay.
So roughly about 700 plus kids. And so I went inside the elementary school and to talk to them, and the principal was just in tears, because when they started the school year, she started the school year off buying almost 50 students brand new pair of shoes just so they could go to school.
And this was before Harvey. They were already in need.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when we talked about it, I said, no, I want to do both schools. I want to do the elementary and that. So I called BB&T, because my budget was 500 pair of shoes. So I
Mhm.
called them and said, hey, we got to do both of these schools. And so
Right.
they approved the budget for 750 pair of shoes.
Okay.
And the first person I could think of was calling Ms. Johnson, saying this is a big blessing to do that, and with the backpacks and to bless the kids
Right.
was it just it's just heartfelt.
Right.
It's like needed. The secretary Amanda with the school, we had a conversation with her, and what she said broke my heart, because 97% of the kids that attend that school, 97% eat free lunch, not
That's
reduced.
the whole school.
The
I
whole
mean,
school. So if they can't afford food,
food.
they can't afford shoes.
Right.
Mhm.
And then after talking with Shatana, we talked about shots. And then Miss Karen mentioned about shots. And so I was like, well, they can't afford shoes. They can't
Right.
afford food. They can't get their shots for
Right.
school. So then we got with Texas Children about bringing them out. And it just built from there. I
That's
was actually doing a
fantastic.
distribution in Austin when I talked to you. I was
Mhm.
like, hey, I'm on my way to do 250 pair of homeless people that was
Mhm.
in Austin downtown at the Salvation Army.
Mhm.
And literally from there, we started really
Mhm.
planning, working together to plan
Couple
this
of
event.
weeks.
Yeah,
Couple of
so a few
weeks.
That's it.
Yeah.
How is it that that particular school has been underneath the radar for so long and they need so much help?
This isn't one particular school being underneath the radar.
Hmm.
People don't understand the level of destruction that happened in Houston.
Right.
It is known that it was bad,
Hmm.
but people don't know how bad.
Right.
There were some supplies that came. A lot of us were in these shelters and giving out stuff. But when you take a step back, if you're already poor, if you're already
Right.
behind, if you're already struggling, which is a large amount of Houston,
Hmm.
then you're in trouble. Or if you're somewhere where you didn't have insurance on your house,
Yeah.
so you can't go buy shoes because
Right.
now you're trying to rebuild this house. Or
Yeah.
you're not legal. You're legal to be here to kind of work, but it's a bad situation. Houston is still at this point in trouble, and people don't realize at what level
Right.
the
Because
people are
everyone
suffering.
is like, oh, that was back then. You move on with your life. But,
Yeah.
Dickinson right next door to us was the hardest hit
Wow.
from Hurricane Harvey. And, for the most part, it looks as though things are better. But then we know the inside stories that there's some
Sure.
of our friends that are just now moving back into their houses.
Dual
So,
residency.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and houses haven't even been touched. So, to the rest of the world, everyone's like, oh yeah, they recovered very well
Right.
from Harvey. But like you said, if you have to have a choice between, do I get food for my kids tonight or a pair of
Right.
school shoes?
Right.
I mean, you're gonna feed your kids.
Right.
And
The statistic is 53% of Houston lives below the poverty line.
I can believe that, and only because I have a social worker
53%.
background that
Mhm.
But that's sad because Houston is
That's
one of the
crazy.
largest cities in the country,
It's number 9 wealthiest city in the United States.
and we have that many people.
53% are below poverty.
Why do
Number
you think
9
that
wealthiest.
is?
Well, this is an example. Last night, I went to a birthday party for one of my colleagues last night. It was downtown,
Hmm.
and I was downtown and went to a restaurant. It's like an underground little restaurant they have open to event. I can't remember the name of it.
Hmm.
First time I ever really went downtown at night, because I live in the Woodlands, so I'm in a bubble, so I really don't go
Right.
past 1960 ever.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so
So this was a little
this was a-
vacay
oh,
today.
Yeah, this was, yes, oh yeah,
It was
definitely.
a trek
Yeah,
coming
definitely a
down
track. And so
Lee City. Yeah.
I'm downtown, and I see just a vast number of homeless people,
Hmm.
literally like on the street at night, laying
Yeah.
side by side each other, hundreds
Hmm.
of homeless people. And I'm turning the corner, I'm getting out of my car, and I'm like, I'm going to go eat
Right.
at a restaurant down here. And the whole main street, this is near Main Street, the
Mhm.
whole main street is loaded with clubs, with
Yep.
people that are spending money on entertainment.
Yep.
And I'm
That's why we're
saying
rich.
all these people right here
That's the dog.
are
I'm
just
sorry.
needing,
He's snoring.
needing food.
Right.
And so, I go in, I order enough for 3 or 4 people,
Hmm.
and I go and if I could feed one, I was
Mhm.
great. But I try to give out pizza to a few people just on the fly, because I'm
Right.
just mind blown. Like, wow, what if everyone at all of these clubs just came out and said, you know what, let's just go feed. You're spending. They spent a ton of money.
You know they
on
did.
just raw
Yeah.
crazy entertainment. We went
Mm-hmm.
to another little. We ate and then we went upstairs to a little party thing that they had,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like $35 to get in there, and
Yeah.
it was $75 to have a bottle of wine there. And I'm
Right.
thinking, you got all these people in here, literally on the same block
Yeah.
that there's people laying on the street. It was just mind blowing to me how we numb ourselves
Yeah,
to
we
the
do.
homeless population
Yeah.
that's here. And I work with special needs, so I know they're even number
Right.
than the homeless
Mm-hmm.
aspect. And so I just think people just numb themselves to it. That's why the number of 50% is so high,
Yeah.
because they just keep driving. No one ever stops.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see someone that needs help, you just keep driving in your fancy car with the AC on, and
Right.
you don't you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't try to take a moment to reach back or reach out. And so it just, I don't know, that was just last night where I
Yeah.
actually got a reality, like,
Right.
whoa, I'm about to go home to an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, with AC, hot water, and I'm just thinking about, man, that could have been my dad I felt fed today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was the reality of it. So I don't know. I asked myself this question that night, every night before I go to bed, and I cry myself to sleep because I'm like, God, did I do enough today?
Right.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Did I do enough today to serve your people? Did I inspire someone today? Did I make an impact today?
Right.
Was that enough food I gave away to the homeless today on a random? You know what I mean? So that's my plight.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm contagious positivity. That's why I say I'm the hands and feet of Jesus. And that's why I go out and be the blessing that I can be, and be the tool, you know what I mean, that we need to be. So, if we can obscure that number by ... 1%, because I gave some food, that's great. We got closer to 50% than 53%.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's something we're desensitized to a lot. My husband won't even let me go downtown because if I see someone asking for money, I give it to him. He's like, you cannot do that. And I'm like, how can you not? It like bothers me, but people that work downtown, they see it all the time. But to me, it's still like you see it every day. So what are you doing, if anything, to help out?
It's not that. That's the symptom.
Yeah.
That's the symptom of the disease. And everybody's forgetting that.
Right.
As long as we're not taking care of people's mental health state, they're going to end up out there. You can go get them and take them home. They're going to be there. As long as you're not dealing with little girls who's abused at home as kids who grow up and find it easier to sleep outside than to call someone for help. As long as we can't pick up the phone and call someone and say, listen, I'm in trouble, and they're not going to go back and put it on Facebook. We are dealing with the symptom. What you see down there, those are the symptoms to the disease.
Right. Yeah.
And he can do that a million times, which makes him an amazing person.
Yeah.
But that number is going to stay the same.
Yeah.
Until we get
we all
a
are
cure
together.
to the
Yeah.
disease. And there isn't one right now.
Right.
And in a city like here or New York and other places, even the rich people are struggling at this point trying to stay there because it's someone always after you. That's what happens when money's in the picture. So you get concerned with you, and that culture, the culture spreads. And that's the culture of big cities. And as long as that's the culture, then we bleed. We're in trouble.
Right. Okay, when we get back, I want you guys to give us some information on how we can help out, and about your event that's coming up. Stick to the Libra Lounge.
Woo.
Welcome back to the Libra Lounge. Before we go into our next segment, I want to give a shout out to some of the great partners and sponsors of your event. Okay, this is a nice little list. First up, we have BB&T, the LaFell Group, Ridgemount Early Childhood Center, Let's see, Texas Children's Hospitals, who they're going to be giving out immunization shots, right? We have Andre Johnson, We See Abilities, Radio DeBang 99.5 FM, All Stars United, Hair Time, Dental Family Dentistry, sorry,
ABC Dental.
ABC. Oh, I see the little blocks now. The Houston Police Department, Carter Cuts. Let's see, Impact Church, which you talked about them just a little while ago. The Amber Neal PR firm, that's my girl. Couch Time with Sonia. And let's see, Revitalized Communities, Incredible Comfort Foods, and Martha Castex Tatum, and the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County. Did I get everybody?
You did. Tyrone Smith, Lamarcus Newman, Champion Fellowship, and you. It sounds
Brandon LaFell.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yes, he's gonna be there washing feet. We've done some events together.
Okay.
In the past, and he's phenomenal. And of course, Samaritan's Feet International.
I mean, for you guys to have some of those names as sponsors, that's big. So tell us where your event is going to be, and when it's going to be.
It's going to be at Ridgemont Elementary,
Mhm.
4910 Raven Ridge.
Okay.
That's Fort Bend ISD. That's the area, and it's going to be from 10 to 2.
Okay.
10 to 2.
So if someone, are y'all going to have vendors out there?
So yeah, vendors are welcome if
Mhm.
they are giving something.
Right.
In that sense, that's how we're gonna do it. For the most part, we have some people like United All-Star Cheer. They're gonna
Mhm.
come out there. They're gonna have shirts that they're gonna give out.
Okay.
We have the cake lady. She's gonna come out.
Mhm.
She's gonna give out some cake. So
Mhm.
we'll have different people out there giving out things. We just have a focus on the shoes and
Right.
socks, or a focus on immunizations.
Mhm.
We're focused on that, and we're gonna give out some backpacks too.
Woo!
Shout out to
great.
Miss Karen.
Kudos.
Great.
Miss
Okay.
Karen Johnson.
Backpacks.
Okay, so let me ask you. I know Texas Children, they're going to be giving out shots. So is that just for the kids of Ridgemont or anyone?
No, that's not. Texas
Okay.
Children actually, because they do the mobile immunization,
Mhm.
whenever they do it, they post it, and anyone who needs immunizations
Perfect.
is welcome
Okay.
to come out, because that's how
Okay.
their PR runs it.
Okay.
So yeah, the
So-
shoes.
Or for the students of
That's
Yes.
Ridgemont? Okay.
And
Are they going to be
backpacks.
there that
Yes.
day?
Yes, we
Yes.
have
Okay.
580 registered
Mhm.
recipients for shoes and backpacks.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so if anyone's interested in making a donation, how do they get in contact with you guys?
Yes, so donations will go to We See Abilities,
Mhm.
and that's going to help us supply more backpacks.
Okay.
The shoes have already been taken care of by
Mhm.
BB&T,
Okay.
and they're going to do 9 distributions across the United States. So we're going to bless not just in Houston area, but
Right.
also like Charlotte, Atlanta,
Woo woo.
Alabama. We're going to be all over the United States blessing kids from
Okay.
BB&T. But as far as backpacks, yes, the donations, 100% of the donations go right to backpacks.
Okay.
And we want to make sure every kid that comes in contact with us get a backpack for school.
And if you need a link, or if you're trying to figure out how to do that, they can call me.
Okay.
281-676-1466, or go find us on Facebook.
Mhm.
There's a way to do it. Definitely reach out to someone to be able to be a partner and impact the community.
Perfect. So if someone's interested in collaborating with you guys, or coming to help out, how do they go about doing that? What do you guys need?
I'm easy. I'm easy to find. It's you
Remember,
can just
y'all, Pooh say he's easy.
yeah,
Okay, you
it's,
gotta watch what you say,
right?
because people can remind him. Did he say he was easy? Okay,
Easy to
okay.
find. Easy to
Okay,
find.
there you
Yeah.
go.
I'm one of a kind. It's
Okay.
only one mythiker on the entire planet.
Yes, there
right?
is.
So
yeah.
just go. You could just Google mythiker.
You can
And
literally
Well,
you'll
you
Google
can't
find.
him.
Google something you can't spell. Why don't you
Well, yeah,
spell it for
you. Yeah.
us?
Correct.
So it's MYTHIQUER, mythiker. And just
A
go
lot
to
of people, we
See-
love to put a Q in a name, don't
I
we?
know, right?
We really, really do.
Mythiker.
Do you have an apostrophe or anything, or a
Nah,
hyphen?
it's just
I do.
It's just how I say it.
Okay.
Yeah, mythiker.
Mythiker.
Just go to weseeabilities.org.
Mm-hmm.
We See Abilities Facebook, We See Abilities Instagram. DM me, message me on Facebook,
Okay.
and get involved. I mean, we do close to what 80 some events last year. I did. We just got finished up doing some events. Got more to come. We got 4 more back to school shoe distributions coming up in August.
Okay.
So we're going to be really busy. Always looking for volunteers. Always looking for support. And just join the team. It's called Contagious Positivity. That's the
Right.
movement. So just contact me on Facebook, Instagram, and let's work together.
Sounds good to me. Okay, guys, when we get back, we're going to go over the contact information for Tuesday's event, and then we're going to have the bitch please of the week. Hey, Libra Lounge family. We have a special guest. She's actually called in. Her name is Melanie. She is from the Houston area, and she is also a business owner. She owns Emmy Lane Boutique. Melanie, say hello to the Libra Lounge audience.
Hi.
Okay, so Melanie, I received your story. Well, actually, it's Tanner's story from an old coworker, Jessica Peterson. She said that you guys are trying to get some help for Tanner. So why don't you give us a little bit of the background story?
Yes. So he is a twin. He was born at 29 weeks, which is fairly early, born at 2 pounds, 10 ounces. We really had no idea that anything was going to come along with that. We expected him to just be a little bit delayed, slow to start. He started having seizures at 2 years old, and from there kind of just declined. He would intermittently have issues breathing, and we suspected it was asthma. And so we'd get admitted. We had been in ICU several different times and needing different medications. And he just slowly declined. We started at 3 years old. They said he needed to be in preschool for children with disabilities. And so we got him set up and all that, and still slowly just kept declining. He didn't know his name until he hit 5. We would ask him, his name, and he would tell us a toy that he liked or something. He would give us an answer. And he just, it became really apparent in January that something majorly was going on with his lungs. And his pulmonologist, who had been with us for, I guess, since he'd gotten out of the NICU, so 5 years, said, Melanie, something's really wrong with him. I think we need to go in and start an immunology workup and go from there, see what else, his lungs, something's going on. And he was moving out of state, and so he wanted to get the answers before he moved out of state.
Right.
So we started with immunology. Immunology came back and, said, are you sure he's had all his vaccines? Because he's showing like he never received them.
Wow.
So they went in and started looking at that and realized he basically has no immunity to any of these vaccines. And so the doctor suggested a cilia test, which is where they go in and test the cilia in your lungs. And so one of the doctors first did a biopsy and a triple scope and came back with a ton of issues. He had like 6 different bacteria growing in his lungs. And then a fungus as well.
And they don't know what made that start happening?
So he had pneumonia. We were getting pneumonia every 3.5 weeks.
Ooh.
And we would, we'd go to the ER if it was the middle of the night when he couldn't breathe. We'd go to the ER, and the ER would do an X-ray, and they're like, he's got pneumonia, here's your meds. We'd catch it pretty early on, but he would still be struggling. It just became to where he would be in his bed for days on end with 102, 103 fever. And then all of a sudden last year, he just stopped having a fever at all. So when they actually put him under that first time for the biopsy in January, we had no idea he had pneumonia until they went in and they came back to me in the waiting room and said, do you know that he has pneumonia? And I'm like, his pulmonary doctor and I were both speechless because we didn't realize even that he had it then.
Right.
And
that's scary.
He was even on, yes, very much, very. And they referred us to another team at Texas Children's, and so they also went in and did more in detailed of of lung tests and
Mm-hmm.
found out that he had a cleft, and that all along was allowing food particles and liquids to go into his lungs.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's really scary to think for 5 years there's a lot of damage that has been done and
Right.
not know it.
So basically, that's the cause of, why he kept getting pneumonia and there was a fungus growing in his lungs. It's because old
Yes,
food particles were going there.
yes. And so it just kept happening. So antibiotics would help the temporary, but ultimately one of the things that was growing was lipid-laden macrophages, which is a milk product. And
Mm-hmm.
he stopped wanting to eat. He was like 56 pounds, and all of a sudden, in a 6-month period, dropped to down to 38 pounds,
Oh, wow.
and went from a size 7 to a 4. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, something's wrong. He doesn't want to eat, and all he wanted to do was drink milk, and that was it. He didn't want to eat anything by mouth, and he would just drink his milk. And I guess that was kind of his filling
Right.
way of filling himself up.
Mm-hmm.
And he has become, we're still not anywhere near what he needs to be as far as weight gain. He pulled his feeding tube out. He doesn't understand a lot of what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and so anything is foreign to him on himself. He doesn't do well with it. IVs, anything, it all comes out. He just freaks.
Right. Yeah, none of that stuff is nice to have to deal with, even for an
No.
adult. So I can't even imagine being 5 years old. Have you guys gotten an official diagnosis of what Tanner has?
So a laryngeal cleft is his official diagnosis for what is causing the pneumonia. Now, Boston is going to when we were there, do genetic testing.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that he's got a chromosome abnormality.
Okay.
We've never been able to pinpoint it. Our insurance has always come back with an unseen from the last quote we had to do this entire global chromosome testing. It was like $15,000 out of pocket of what our insurance would cover.
Wow.
And so we've never been able to do it. So
Right.
we've done they thought he had Fragile X, which is it's a test. Child has seizures, that kind of stuff. And they have delays that his neurologist thought that he had Fragile X. It didn't end up being, so we paid for Fragile X testing, but it didn't end up being Fragile X.
So now you guys are trying to take Tanner to Boston because there's a specialist up there that he needs. Tell us a little bit more
Yes.
about that.
Yes, so Boston Children's is like one of the top hospitals. They were actually even ranked top for pediatrics and for 2017 and 18. And they have a specialist over there that solely specializes in this cleft laryngeal, and it's so rare. They say 0.01% of people are born with this,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know why. It's just something that it never closes, and it's extremely rare. And the doctor over there is amazing, and the success stories that I've read. Of course, we started doing a lot of research, and the success stories over there are amazing.
Right.
And I want to, of course, give him the best chance for living, and I think that's going to be our place for
Okay.
repair. That's going to be the best place.
So when are you two guys trying to get Tanner to Boston?
We should know an exact date next week. So it is looking like in the next week or two, they're having to rework the surgery schedule to get him in because he's not someone that could wait. They did a temporary fill on the hole
Mm-hmm.
at Texas Children's, and it basically gives us 4 to 8 weeks of that temporary fill.
Okay.
And
So y'all are
so
on a
it'll be,
time frame that you have to
yes,
work with. Okay.
yes.
So, Libra Lounge family, Tanner needs our help. I know you guys have planned a Team Tanner benefit that's going to be August 11th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Darrow's Place in Santa Fe. The address is 3330 Avenue A, Santa Fe, Texas, 77510. There's going to be food, drinks, a live silent auction, moonwalks, and more. Ooh, you guys are going to have food plates for $10.
Yes.
There's also going to be a bike ride, and if you're interested in that, that is $20, and that's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you have questions for Melanie, or if you would like to talk with her, ask her questions, or donate, you can send her a message to tannertoboston@gmail.com. Do you guys have a GoFundMe page?
We do, and I believe it is also. I'm not sure what it is though.
No,
Sorry,
that's no
someone.
problem. We're
A
gonna
friend
put it
set
on.
it up.
We're gonna put it on the Libra Lounge Facebook page, Instagram page, on our website, so that everyone can have access to it, so that we can make sure you guys are able to go to Boston, so Tanner can get the help that he really needs. Again, Melanie, I know this has to be a lot on you, just as a mom, a wife, and as a business owner. I couldn't even imagine what you're
It,
going through.
it's been really, really tough.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Well, we're going to try to do everything that we can to spread the word out, to make sure that you guys raise it. How much are you trying to raise?
$5,000.
Oh, we can do this, people. $5,000 is all they need to get Tanner to Boston. Are you and your husband planning on staying up there the entire time, or is one of you going to go?
For sure, I will.
Okay.
And so we've got his twin and other kids. So unfortunately, he's going to have to fly back just on the day that Tanner's big surgery is,
Mm-hmm.
and then go back home.
Okay.
Because he's expected to be in ICU, and so that on life support just kind of really terrifies me.
Right.
So he'll fly out there the day before the big surgery.
Okay. Well, as soon as you guys get a date for his surgery, let us know, because, I'm sure people are going to want to, get information about if you guys were able to go, how things are going, and we would love to give our audience an update. Again, if you would like to donate to Team Tanner, go to the Libra Lounge Facebook page, and all of the GoFundMe information will be on there, as well as our website, which is www.thelibralounge.net. Also, if you would like to attend the benefit, Team Tanner's benefit, that's going to be held at August 11th. Is Tanner going to be there, or is it just going to be family?
As long as we are not in Boston, he
Uh-huh.
will be there for a little bit.
Okay, sounds fantastic. Melanie, you guys are in our thoughts and in our prayers, and we are going to try to get the word out so that we can make sure that Tanner most definitely will be able to go to Boston's Children's Hospital. And we're very thankful that, they're able to provide the help that he's going to be needing. And we hope you get all the answers that you need, and we hope that his surgery is very successful. And if there's anything else that we can do, please let us know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Melanie. It was nice talking to you.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All righty, we are back with some fabulous people who are doing some wonderful things for our community, especially for our kids. I'm going to give you guys a chance to tell our audience how they can come to your event this Tuesday. All the contact information. Mythica, I saw you pointing at him like, it's your turn. You're going to say it this time. I said it last time. Okay, so one more time. How can everyone find you guys?
Okay, they can find Mythica
Mm-hmm.
because he's a lot easier to find.
With
than
I
me.
wonder why.
Because of his name.
Yeah.
I've Googled him before. It works.
Wow.
You can find him in real life. So you can find him on Facebook.
Mhm.
If you can't figure out how to spell Mythica, even though we've spelled it,
Mhm.
we see abilities.
Okay, we
Type
see
it in,
abilities.
you'll find it. You find We See Abilities, and it will get you to any of us. If
We're
you
number
are-
one on Google.
Yeah,
What?
I mean,
We See
they're a big
Abilities.
deal.
Yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
like
Okay.
all my
He had
friends
to
involved.
throw
We
that
see
in there.
abilities.
Okay.
So definitely do that. If you're looking for me, my name is the same on every social media site. It's Shatana Nelson.
Mhm.
Shatana Shatonna. I gave you my number earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always find Mythica. The event is going to be Tuesday.
Mhm.
Remember that. If you want to donate to this event,
July
if
10th,
you-
right?
Yes, July
Okay.
10th. if you want to come out to this event, contact us. We want all the volunteers to contact us, of course, ahead of time for, security
Registration. We got to
purposes and
register
all of
all
these little
volunteers.
kids. So we got to make sure the right people are out there. We
Of
are
course.
definitely doing that. Safety is a big deal. So do that. If you have something that you want to donate or you just want to come out there, just reach out to us.
Okay.
It's absolutely possible. And if not for this one, if this isn't it, help clear up some of those symptoms.
Yes.
And, come and be a part of something else.
Right. Okay. All right, Mythica,
Awesome.
anything you want to add?
Yeah. We have more distributions we're going to do in the city of Houston.
Do you
Looking
need
to
a tissue? Because you keep sneezing and snotting all over the studio. It's okay. It's
Aw.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, we're looking to partner with some media outlets to do a shoe drive. And
Okay.
all shoes have to be brand new athletic shoes. We're looking to do a shoe drive for all of Houston area that benefits the kids in our community.
Okay.
And so we're looking to maybe set something up like that in the near future, where we can have a drop-off location where people could drop off brand new athletic shoes, and that goes to help us do more shoe distributions around the city of Houston, and just to make sure every kid, zero shoeless children,
Right.
is the mission, is the ministry. And so I want to make sure that. But volunteerism is awesome. Always looking for volunteers with We See Abilities, with helping our special population. We do a lot of fun, amazing events. We have events coming up every quarter. We take special needs kids to iFly.
Oh,
And so,
really?
yeah. So
Okay.
every quarter they can come, participate, and buddying up with one of our special needs to do an iFly experience.
Okay.
And that's a lot of fun. And then we just recently partnered with Inspire Rock. And they do adaptive rock climbing for our special needs. So if you're in a wheelchair, don't worry, we have an adaptable harness that will do paraclimb. So you'll actually climb with someone.
Oh, yeah, that's
which is
awesome.
amazing. Yeah, great team building exercise. We have a great partnership with the Houston Rockets and also with Microsoft.
Okay.
And so we'll be doing quarter events with them as well. So just look us up. Plenty of volunteer opportunities. Like I said, 100% of our donations go right back to the mission. We have administrators that cover our administration.
Okay.
So that way, whatever we get goes right back to the mission.
Well, that sounds like fun. I mean, y'all take them to iFly, rock climbing. Okay, if y'all do pie eating contests and y'all need volunteers, call me. Y'all don't want me to
Got
try to
it.
do the iFly nor the rock climb and be like, she
Yeah.
can't come and volunteer anymore with us. Okay, well, I appreciate you guys coming out here and best of luck on your event.
Thank you.
Before we go, it is time for the bitch please of the week.
Bitch, please. You be rolling down the street, telling stories. Bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch, please. Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
This week's Bitch Please goes to none other than Real House of Potomac star Ashley Darby. Now, if you guys watched Potomac last week, you saw that Ashley was hosting a kind of a singing event at her Australian restaurant, Oz. Well, Ashley took that time to, get on the mic herself and sing a song to her husband. And it wasn't that good. The writing was kind of bad, and the singing was even worse. But this chick decided, hey, I think I'm going to really make this great. So she auto-tuned it, and now she wants all of us to buy it. That's why Ashley Darby gets the Bitch Please of the Week from the Libra Lounge. We will see you guys next week. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.